What is going on, trainers? DrumVillain here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go PvP content, and today we're taking a look at another ElementCup team. And this team's working out super well for me. It's a very fast team. Games are going to be super short. Games are short anyway in the ElementCup, but they're really short with this team. I dropped a couple hundred points messing around in the Master League a bit and messing around with a few other teams, and then tried this one out in the ElementCup and just gradually climbed back up to 2990s where I'm currently at before I run out of sets for the day. So very successful team, definitely capable of making the push to legend rank if that's what you're looking for in this cup. Not only that, it's easy to play and you don't have to have 2 charge moves on pretty much anything on this team. Execute, you can go for 2 charge moves on it if you want. Just have Ancient Power on Seed Bomb to have a little bit more charge move coverage, but oftentimes you're going to win games without even throwing that many charge moves, to be honest. The amount of games I won where the opponent still had 1 or 2 shields left was crazy. Plus, if you're not wanting to use Ducklett or Chinchou, this team doesn't have either of those on and doesn't lose super hard to either of those Pokemon either, so you've got play in those situations. You're not just playing rock, paper, scissors like a lot of this cup revolves around. Now, I did already make a video with this team like last year or the year before when ElementCup was in, and it's just rearranged slightly differently because I think this order of Pokemon on the team works a little bit better. So this team's going to be taking advantage of the confusion users. It's just heavy fast move damage, which a lot of opponents really struggle to keep up with. We're going to be running Slowpoke on the lead, which has confusion, Psyshock, Water Pulse. There's pretty much nothing in this meta that's resisting confusion damage except like possibly Ferroseed, and that's a very spicy pick in general. And then you're going to have Execute, as is going to be a Shadow Execute. If you don't have Shadow, you can use regular. It's fine, but honestly, Shadows are preferable if you do have them in general, just to amp up that fast move damage. And then Cottony in the back. So we've technically got a Water on the lead and 2 Grass in the back. Execute's going to be a safe swap because that pulls out a lot of Vulpixes and things like that you're going to be able to handle. You're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Execute anyway because the confusion damage is so high, and then hopefully Cottony can sweep through at the end. It's not a very complicated team. The gameplay is not very complicated. The rough gist is if you see a lead that Execute and Cottony are going to struggle with, like you see like Vulpix on the lead or something else like that, you're just staying with Slowpoke, and you can pretty much just wear them down with that confusion damage. If you get a bad lead, something like a Chinchou, something like that, then you're going to swap into Execute and see what you pull out, because Execute's a very good safe swap in this meta. You can often force a shield advantage or even just gain switch advantage because you can just confusion something down anyway, even through some of its counters. The main thing you're going to have to think about on this team is when to use your shields. Execute cannot really take many hits to save its life, neither can Slowpoke. They're both pretty squishy. Cottony has bulk, and generally Cottony is the Pokemon that you're going to be relying on to take a charge move, possibly without shielding, just because it can survive those moves. Even from opposing Shadow Executes and Slowpokes, it can take the Psyshock, it can take the Ancient Power, whereas most other Pokemon can't take those kind of hits. So you use Cottony as, you know, relentless damage and a bit of a shield, and then save your shield probably for either Slowpoke or Execute. Kind of use them when it feels appropriate to use them. You'll figure it out. It's a pretty easy team, and the just sheer power of this team can just overrun so many opponents. It's really strong. I'm actually really enjoying it. I thought it'd be nice just to have an easy to use team for you guys to check out, but then it actually has performed really well as well. And don't get me wrong, RNG is still going to screw in some matchups. You're still going to lose just based on rock, paper, scissors and typings and stuff like that. But this team has a little bit more nuance on bad leads, can flip your way around out of some of those games and just take a few extra wins that just going straight rock, paper, scissors formats might not let you get. So here we've got a Shadow Turtwig on the lead. That's absolutely devastating for our Slowpoke. We want to get out of there as fast as possible. We say swap or Execute and we pull out a Ducklett. Now, they build up a fair bit of energy. We're going to shield up. It is an Aerial Ace. It's absolutely worth the shield. If a Ducklett builds up to Aerial Ace or Brave Bird, it is worth a shield. They don't generally mess about baiting you. And if they do bait you, you're going to be able to get to... they're going to end up throwing again probably anyway just to take you out because the confusion damage is so overwhelming. What you're going to find in a lot of situations where you swap into Execute and you lose switch advantage and whatnot is that you're going to be able to farm down with Slowpoke and come out with a lot of energy. And even against harder counters, that goes a long way. Now, this opponent here, we can see, actually has a Seal in the back, which they're going to keep in with against our Cottony. They're going to save that Turtwig for the Slowpoke, which makes sense. We only swapped out blindly because We expected the Turtwig to come in, the Razor Leaf damage was going to be very, very high, and we were debuffed, so we figured we just wanted to swap out straight away and try and preserve all that energy. Unfortunately, now we've got Slowpoke stuck against the seal. We're going to farm him down. Can a Psyshock take out a Shadow Turtwig? It's going to hit hard, but it's going to take them out. It's going to do monstrous damage, and then we're going to take 2 Razor Leaves, and we tie, which doesn't matter. Completely cancels out. You don't lose any elo, you don't gain any elo, so pretty decent turnout considering that we actually had a pretty rough matchup there with the Turtwig on the lead and the Ducklett to punish the Exeggcute. Now, if we'd have thrown the Psyshock at the seal instead and then brought in Cottony, we might have actually been in a decent position to win that game, because then we would have ended up with Turtwig against Cottony. In the end game, we would have been resisting those Razor Leaves, where we've been charming them down. So it might have worked out all right for us, but like I said, sometimes you just got to make a quick decision, especially when you got something like Razor Leaf damage coming through from a Shadow in this kind of situation, where you could see how hard that thing was hitting Slowpoke. It was absolutely shredding us. Now, in this game, the opponent made a nice catch and put our Psyshock onto their Cottony, but that puts us in a decent position where we can bring in our Cottony into theirs. We've got such a big health advantage that we can just farm down entirely. We can get a shield back out of the Ducklett by throwing the Seed Bomb. Now we've got a Lotad in the back, and our Shadow Exeggcute is going to be able to go to town with these confusions. The rough plan here is that we're just going to farm down entirely at this point, and then just throw charge moves into the Ducklett. We're going to have almost 2 Seed Bombs here ready to go. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to throw the first one. We're throwing Seed Bombs here because we don't quite have 2 Ancient Powers. It is a little bit more energy for the Ancient Powers. If we'd have gone for those, we'd have not been able to win this game. But these Seed Bombs are going to hit hard enough. They're going to finish off the Ducklett. We're going to take the win. GG. So when I say these games go fast, I was not kidding. That was a whole set there gone already in these first 7 minutes, and that's 3 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. So it counts as basically a 4 out of 5 set. Gives you roughly the same elo gain up to 29.52. Then I had a 2 out of 5 set drop down to 29.40, and then 2 3 out of 5 sets that went up to 29.60 and then 29.75. I'm not going to bore you guys with all those matchups because there isn't all that much nuance to a lot of games with this team. Like I said, it's just very much just punching your way through teams. Bulbasaur lead is good for you. I recommend you stay in. You don't want Cottony lined up with this thing. And the confusion damage, look at that. That's insane. We're not even a Shadow, and 4 confusion is going to take this Bulbasaur out. That's absolutely crazy. We just have to shield up 1 Seed Bomb, I think it is, at Bulbasaur throws, and that's absolutely fantastic for us. They come in with Chinchou, and that means that we can swap out aggressively into Exeggcute, see what we pull out of the back. We pull a Vulpix out, which is great for us because now we've got Cottony to line up with the Chinchou, which we can absolutely force our way through with the charm damage, get a shield here out of the Vulpix, and then Slowpoke is going to be able to just finish off this Vulpix, no worries whatsoever, and the game is definitely locked in for us because there's just nothing really that Chinchou can do against Cottony. Even though they've got a shield advantage, we're going to take it off and with this Psyshock or do big damage. They're going to shield it up. That's completely fine for us. They might have to throw here. We'll get another Psyshock. We're going to get the Psyshock off as well. So you're going to see how hard this hits Chinchou as well if you're stuck in this matchup. Big damage there. Not quite enough to take them out, but the Chinchou turns up, finishes them off. GG. Now, like I said, there are some games you're still going to lose just on rock, paper, scissors vibes. Chikorita lead, terrible for your Slowpoke. Swap out into Exeggcute and see what you pull out. We pull out a Ducklett. Like I said, we're going to struggle to maintain switch advantage here. We're just going to end up probably losing switch, but we might get a shield out of him here. We get the shield out of him with the Ancient Power. We're probably going to let the charge move go through if they throw here, which they are going to, which is nice. Duckletts often don't realise that they can probably farm you down entirely once a shield at 1 Ancient Power, depending on the IVs across the board. My Execcute's IVs are pretty decent for a Shadow. My Slowpokes and Cottonys aren't that good, but I wouldn't stress IVs too much on this team either. If you got high attack, there's a good chance you'll be winning CMP ties and stuff like that. The Ducklett's going to actually take us out with double aerialist, which we weren't expecting. We thought it'd be a Bubble Beam. And we've got Cottony. There's a Salandit. Nothing we can do. Look how hard those poisons hit. We're going to get taken straight out. It's a GG. Like I said, although this team doesn't offensively act like a water double grass, it is a double grass line. And if they're running double grass counters in the back, you're probably going to have a bad time because Cottony and Exeggcute are going to get smashed to pieces by poison damage from something like Salandit for sure. But Salandit's pretty rare because you have to have a under-leveled account to hatch a Salandit from to then trade to your account to you. So it's very hard to get access to a Salandit in this cup, and you're not going to see all that many, really. There are still counters out there that can mess up your double grass strategy, but Salandit is definitely a rare one. Just wanted to put that matchup in there so you guys could definitely see how that goes, because as we saw, Cottony gets absolutely shredded by that thing. We actually call a Bubble Beam bait here, which is fantastic for us. It means we're going to have to throw another charge move to take us out. Will Bubble Beam actually take us out here? It might not. No, we're actually going to be able to charm them. No, they take us out with the last wing attack. That's fine. I thought we might have actually got switch advantage there just because they were going to throw Bubble Beam instead of the Aerial Ace or the Brave Bird. But either way, it works out for us. We've now got Exeggcute on the Cottony, which we might... We're going to throw... Yeah, we throw a charge move here. I don't know if this makes sense, or should we just save the shield and just smash our way through this thing? I'm not sure, because taking that extra charm hits pretty hard. We're still going to have plenty of health, though, actually, to make it to a Seed Bomb and just obliterate this Chinchou. And like I said, we save shields, we save them all for your Exeggcute, and the work that it can put in with those shields is immense. This is absolutely one shot. Oh no, we got debuffed, but doesn't matter. One more confusion will finish him off, and that's a good game. Alright, jumping into the next matchup. I believe this one is a Vulpix lead. It is. You want to stay into Vulpix leads in general and just go for the confusion damage. I find Shadow Vulpix easier than regular Vulpix, because either way, 2 body slams is going to be threatening you, but the confusion hits so much harder on the Shadow. I think you need 1 less confusion to take them out, which does make a big difference in this kind of situation. We're just going to keep going for these confusions. I think we're going to shield this up, so then they have to throw another charge move to finish us off and just see what they do. They're going to swap out into Seal, and Seal's probably the most awkward Pokemon for this team to deal with, because it's water, we've got double grass, but Seal has Icy Wind, and it just does such big damage. And not only that, the Lick fast move damage is super effective to Slowpoke and to Exeggcute because of the Psychic typing. So really, it's not a good situation at all to be in. And now we're going to have to bring in probably Exeggcute here, because Slowpoke could just get licked down pretty quick. We're just going to go for 2 confusions, try and take them out. Shield up. It has to be an Icy Wind. It will annihilate us, so we've got to shield it up. And now we're in a bit of a sketchy position. What comes in here is Vulpix. We're going to swap into Slowpoke. They swap out into Chinchou. It's a bit of a mess. The Vulpix, I think, will get to a Body Slam or a Weather Ball. So that's why we're going to try and get to the double Seed Bomb. They're going to get to Thunderbolt. Damage is done. Maybe if we'd have thrown 1 confusion earlier here and taken out the Chinchou, then maybe the Vulpix wouldn't have got to a charge move there. I'm not sure. I thought that they were 1 fast move away, so I thought I needed the charge moves loaded. That might have been my mistake. Either way, good game. Alright, we've got a Bulbasaur lead that say swapped into a Vulpix, and we're going to stay in with Slowpoke because we just don't want either Exeggcute or Cottony lined up with Vulpix. And we know that Exeggute's confusion is going to do just as well as Slowpoke's against Bulbasaur, so we're just hoping to line that up later on in the game. We are going to shield this up. We're going to commit shields to get switch advantage because we do not want Cottony against Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a very good answer to Cottony, so we're going to give up both shields here. We're going to be very low. We're going to have a charge move ready to throw at something, which isn't too bad. Maybe we'll get that shield back, depends what comes in. It's a Ducklett. Right, this is scary because Ducklett can just one-shot with Brave Birds now, whatever's left on the team. So we're going to bring in Cottony though anyway, get some charm damage, hopefully get them low enough to where we can then confusion them down. The opponent's going to make a misplay here, right? We're going to bring in Exeggcute and they're going to swap to clear the debuff straight away. And this puts Bulbasaur 1 turn behind. Bulbasaur needs 7 turns to get to Sludge Bomb, which they can do inside 4 confusions and throw it. But because they lose the 1 extra fast move, the damage registers from confusion before they can throw the Sludge Bomb, takes them out before they get a move off, and then we can just dump energy into the Ducklett, take them out and get the win, and it's a GG. If they would have let Ducklett be farmed down by Exeggcute, they would have gotten to Sludge Bomb and Bulbasaur and taken us out because they did still have a shield left. Of course, them wanting to clear the Brave Bird debuff on Ducklett made sense. It was just unfortunate for them that we had Exeggcute and that it played out that way for preventing Bulbasaur from getting that Sludge Bomb off. But yeah, nice easy team for you guys to try out. Let me know how you get on in the Element Cup or Master League so far. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I will catch all of you absolute legends next time.